Again, my channel. So, Bøkøharam members terrorists bomb a Nigerian army base with drones in Bono on Christmas Eve, injure many soldiers. But I think I have one question. How did they get that drone? This is so clear. How did this Bøkøharam member get the drone? And I'll tell you how, and I'll tell you when they got that drone. Remember when the government, Nigerian government, reinstated back Bøkøharam member into society and said that they are repentant Bøkøharam member? That means they don't have any plans of hurting anybody again, and then the government now brought them back into the society. And guess what? Those are people that was brought to society went ahead to steal the military motorcycle, the arms, these two drones, because that's what they call the drone that they're using to attack this our military men now. Because I don't know how in a same country where government can reinstate back terrorists and say that they are repented, that they can be governors tomorrow, that they can be this tomorrow, this and that tomorrow. But whereas that these people are Bøkøharam members, that means they are terrorists. But the same government are busy going after IPOBs that are not terrorists too. But here we have terrorists in your presence, but are bringing back society that they are repented, that they are now turned from their evil ways to the good ways. But what do you do first? I'll be together shortly.
Everyone, you need to come on board. Bøkøharam should lay their arms unconditionally and be accepted in the community. Opportunities are out there for them. They can be rehabilitated. An ex-Bøkøharam stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time when he cannot even deliver?
A very well-known leader in this country said that any attempt to attack and fight insurgency is an attack on the North. So, when you have such huge political considerations, there are difficulties. I mean, Buhari said that in the newspaper. General Buhari said that any attack on Bøkøharam is an attack on the North. So what do you do as a government? So you want to attack Bøkøharam. At the same time, a leader, a respected person in society, somebody who carries, the last vote, the last election, over 12 million people voted for him from the North. A man like that, you cannot ignore him. Now he says that if you continue to attack Bøkøharam, you are attacking the North. You must be careful.
The question a lot of people from the southeast of Nigeria will ask you is, why are there so many roadblocks in the southeast?
The terrain. We operate based on the terrain. If the terrain is open, it's less. If the terrain is closed, it's more. Because if you don't do that, you give the ability of the enemy to move around freely.
But there is the same kind of terrain in the southwest. There is the same kind of terrain in the Midwest.
Southwest, what is the threat level? The threat level isn't that much. So that's the issue. You see, the thing is that if we make mistakes, people get killed. And people feel we're not doing our job. So we have to take whatever it is for that we need to do to ensure that we secure the individual. Sometimes it could be difficult, sometimes it could be painful, and it seems as if we're being very hard, but it just depends. You can see that even at that, we're now beginning to reduce, seeing that, look, things are getting better. We don't want to just like that come and impede on people. No. For us, we don't like it. But sometimes we're forced to do it because that's the only measure we need to do at that time. And once it gets better, we pull out.
And they claim that those roadblocks that they put is to curb insecurities, which is not even working anything. Because these are governments you are seeing like this now. Those checkpoints are also a help to those kidnappers because their cost is there. The hunger is too much. So I don't blame anybody, but at least take accountability, be accountable of what you do. But in our government, they are all denying it. They are just putting blames on one person, the IPOBs, agitators, that they want causing security in this southeast. Take all the checkpoints. They will stop you and they will illegally extort money from you. They will harass you and they must give them money. All of us eat their season for security. Okay, you have multiple checkpoints that is, but still the level of insecurity, kidnapping is getting worse day by day. Then what is the essence of this issue of roadblock? Let me get to hear what also the chief of staff said in the issue of NGOs being the ones supporting or financing the terrorists in Nigeria and not the IPOBs. What do you do, guys?
Yes. NGOs, there are so many things. If we want to go into NGO issues, there are so many things I had. Initially, when the NGOs came in, when we started, they didn't want any oversight function. They didn't want us to know where they were going to. We had issues with that because now They will go into the enclave of the terrorists and go and treat them. You are treating the same people that is attacking the communities. You tell them no, that you are neutral. How neutral can you be? We've had situations where allegations of arms, them conveying arms just to make sure that the war continues. We've had situations where they will tell you they are taking food to communities. Halfway, they tell you the trailer has broken down. By next morning, the trailer is empty. And that vehicle that is broken down, the driver will just go and drive it and take it back. So what had happened? You have funded those guys. You are taking care of them equally. We've had several situations like that. So we said, no, it can't continue like that. And that's why we insisted with the state government that, look, the state government must know what's going on. So if any NGO comes, it must be registered. We must monitor what's going on. We've had situations where NGOs will come in with unidentified individuals entering communities. You don't even know what they're doing. They don't have NGO ID cards. They are not part of the government. Who is taking them to? What are they going there for? And so by the time we start monitoring what they were doing, we noticed things started getting better. So which means something is going on somewhere. Because they come from all over the world and you don't know who is who. So that's why for every country, please regulate what the NGOs are doing, monitor what they're doing. Most times you hear them telling you that they spent $10 million. And then you wonder where. Most times the money is spent on themselves, on their luxuries. The hotels they stay, the vehicles they're using, and all those things. The locals don't benefit much from them. And yet this thing keeps on. I told you, somebody will come and pay for a house for 10 years ahead. So what is he trying to tell you? This thing will never end until after 10 years, or maybe he will renew it. And again, I always remember that if there is peace and the threat level is low, one, they are going to retrench them. Two, their hazard allowance will reduce. How many of them will want that? But again, please don't just assume that just monitor what's going on. Monitor what's being spent. I think it's important. I think we've dealt with the issue.
There's the last one of extermination of the...
when is it going to end? Maybe I should ask you, when is criminality going to end? It's something that we have to live. No, the truth about it is just something that's the new world order. And it's everywhere. In America, how many killings are going on? It's all acts of terrorism. It's going to be in every country. It is your ability to mitigate, to deal with it in such a way that it does not affect the normal lives of the people. But acts of criminality will continue. That is for sure. Countries that have not had this, please don't allow it to start. Whatever it takes, once it starts, please nip it immediately in the bud. It's very important. And what does it take? Monitoring. Monitoring is good. Law enforcement, legal system. These are areas that we are having a lot of challenges.
There is one serious factor which I want as Chief of Defense Staff to answer. You see, since they have the idea of this firepower, bandits use AK-47. Well, the law of the land did not allow somebody that is not trained as a military or as a police officer to hold AK-47. And this is a community-driven crisis that can be addressed substantially by the members of the communities. In as much as the communities are trained and they know the enclaves of the bandit, and they don't have the power because they can only use pump action that ranges only 100 meters. While bandits are having AK-47 that has a range of about 400 meters. They will continue to deal with people even if people want to fight and protect their communities. What government is doing to address that problem, considering the fact that in the Bøkøharam, hunters were given AK-47, and that's what honestly helped in addressing the problem of Bøkøharam. So what is government doing now to make people to have access to that more advanced and more sophisticated weaponry so that we will come to we will completely dislodge this bandit? Because in as much as we leave them, they will continue to expand, and that is a serious issue.
If we tell ourselves the truth, what is going on in the Northwest is the Hausa-Fulani fight. You know, we don't mention it. That is the bottom line. The Fulani man feels anytime he comes to town, he's molested, he's killed. The Hausa man believes that the Fulani man, using his headsmen, enters his farm and destroys his crops. So it's been a long time, I'm sure you're aware, it's been a long time issue that had not been addressed. So it's a political issue
that should have been settled before. It had been allowed until it evolved to what it is today. Now, acts of criminality now came in. When acts of criminality came in, they felt that now, because the borders, I mentioned the issue of porous borders where weapons are moving in and out, and that's why they felt that, yes, since their cows have been attacked, they too should be protected. And that's why you see major of them carrying arms. And before you know it, those that didn't have cows started into acts of armed robbery, small stealing, until it graduated to what it is now. Then the Bøkøharam, with the hit they got in the Northeast, a lot of them moved. So it's a convergence of criminality that has come together to build up to what the acts of banditry. And the only way they make money is what? Kidnapping. When they kidnap, they make money. Now, the state governments, yes, in order to address that, I personally support civilian JTF. We use them effectively in the Northeast. But how did we apply them in the Northwest? What we did, the communities were the ones that identified youths that had character, that were reliable, that were honest. They brought out those names, gave the state government brought them in, profiled them with the police and the DSS, the State Security Service, and then they were now handed over to the military. They were trained with the mandate to protect their communities, not to go and attack any other person. Because one, the military, the armed forces, we are not many, we can't be everywhere. There is no country that have security forces everywhere. So their own intent is, the mandate for them is protect your community while the main forces are coming. So you delay them until that. And that's how we have used them. And frankly speaking, they've given us a lot of, because one, they know the areas very well. They know the area, they can tell you where IEDs are, which roads are clear and all this. And so we use that correct. But what we found out in the Northwest is a lot of this were not done. And the danger is, don't ever allow a training to be viewed, the perception of that using one ethnic group. Like I told you from beginning, the issues were Hausa, Fulani. Now, if you have civilian JTF that is only Hausa, what would the Fulani feel? He will feel threatened. And that is what is causing the problem. If you sit down now to look at in Katsina State, how many have been killed so far? Because one, they operate in Northeast, they operate with the security forces. There is no operation they don't go together. So the security forces will give them that experience and the tactics to use. In this other area, they want to go alone. And you know that they've started also sell
Tomorrow you tell me that this country is sane, whereas we are living the wrong thing and looking for the wrong thing at the same time. Because I know the reason why a government can reinstate Bøkøharam by society, and then you think that they will not do another bad thing. Because now they stole your arms, motorcycles, and your drones to go attack your own military men in Nigeria. And then tomorrow you say that they are repented, and they are leaving them to go look for IPOB members. They're looking for somebody in Finland. But as we have Bøkøharam to your front, and you can arrested, and then you know that you are coping insecurity. But no. You brought them back. You let them to be free, walking free on the streets, and they are repented. That they are giving their life to Christ. See them now. They came in and they stole your drone, took it and attacked your own military base, destroyed some camps and killed some soldiers. They make it make sense when in the country of Nigeria we don't have any law. We don't abide by any law. But I don't see reason why a government should reinstate terrorist group into society. They are not arrested, no handcuff, but you handcuff to me that did nothing but say the truth. But here we have a terrorist that have killed people, but they came back walking freely without handcuffs, but he handcuffed to me. That's the level how this country have gotten to. We don't have anything like rule of law, anything like court anymore, anything like clear judgment anymore. Everything is injustice, bribe, and corruption. It is so deep into the system, and that's what to me said. That's bribe and corruption have eaten so deep into our judiciary system. That means our judiciary system is corrupt, but the government are fighting it, and some persons like are fighting it. So guys, this video I meet you guys. You can always subscribe and like some videos. I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe.